Good morning, good morning. For you, today's the Super Bowl. Tomorrow for me. What did our neighbor say? He lived in California for a good bit in his military career and after his military career. In fact, went to the little town I was from, Novato, a lot. But he's a Raiders fan. Because in the later part of his career, he was a truck driver for the Air Force. And he had to go on loading docks all the time in LA. And he said it was better to be a Raiders fan than a 49ers fan. And he still is a Raiders fan. But he gets frustrated with them. And they're in Las Vegas now, I think. Unless they move back to LA again. I don't know. They go back. These teams moving around, I don't understand. That's neither here nor there. Okay. So, cross your fingers for the 49ers. Brock Purdy, come on. Throw some Purdy balls. All right. We have our starter, which is the premises of this journal. Every day I have to start in this journal, which is falling apart, only due to me. So I'm just holding it out like this until I finish it. And then I'll put all the pages together. But I take a piece of starter and put it on this piece of paper, which was from a Kelly Perky subscription kit, which she was no longer Kelly Perky. Then she moved to the paper person, and now I can't even find her. So I don't know and I just found out in trying to figure out if she's still doing any of the business, that she was in Two Peas in a Pod, which was really a long time ago, and in my scrapbook days, and I always liked that paper. So I guess I've always liked her aesthetic. But and she was one of the first people to have a Traveler's Notebook subscription kit. That's what really hooked me. But I really never did use the paper very well. I used other bits and pieces of it, but not the paper. So I couldn't throw it away because that would be wasting money. Or pass it on. That would be wasting money. Just in my head. So I painted them with the suggestion of somebody here. So I did. And I'm like, oh, I can use these now. So now I have been using them and I don't hate them anymore. Or not hate. I never did hate them. They didn't apply to me. And I got like 3 years of that kit. So before I finally stopped it. And then I got Allie Edwards. No, then I got another one which didn't really tick my buttons immediately. Not Studio Calico. And another one. Anyhow. So then I went to Allie Edwards. And I really don't use hers as often as I should. But I might paint some of her stuff now too, because I haven't thrown it away either. So, okay. Today we're doing rest. So we have to take a piece of our paper. Should we take a big piece of it? Sure, because now we only have one more day left after this one. And I don't have to use the whole thing. That never came into play in my head. But I had to use it every day. And this was a big piece of paper. This was maybe like 9 by 11. And I've used everything but this. The bloody center. Or grape jelly center, since we're talking about bread here. I've been painting already this morning. So if you see black on me, hopefully you don't. Well, there's a little bit. That's okay. All right, so now, okay, I haven't done this in a long time, and this is a childhood technique, but it always never ceases to amaze me. So you would, in children's days, in my childhood days, we would take, hold on a second, some kind of paint and write our name. So we're going to put rest. You kind of have to join everything, and then you get it wet, and then you fold it over, and then you have like a mirror image over here. And it just is always interesting to see how it turns out. I don't know if I've ever done it with a Stabilo, but here we go. You know what? I think I'm going to fake it. because there's hardly anything showing up here. Whether this is the paper's too porous, I don't know. But we're going to make it look like it worked. And actually and truly, it's really melding into the background here. So maybe I should have had this wet. Anyhow, okay, let's put that aside for a second. And I guess we could dry it. Okay, I'm going to dry it real quick. Okay, that's good enough. There's a little damp spot there and there and there, but that's okay. So now it doesn't look like the word rest, but it's in there. And it's just providing, I mean, it looks like antlers on a Mickey Mouse ears, in my opinion, but that's okay. Okay, so now, there's no black here. So now we need to add black here, if you ask me. So let's get this wet. I'm just dunking it in my water. Albeit dirty, but that's okay. It's black. It'll survive. I've never done this before. Just literally stuck it in water and started going. And I'm just kind of outlining the shapes that were already there from the painting I did with no thought process in mind. Just as the possibility of being able to use it because it had something on it. Kind of like the blank page thing. I didn't like the page before, so I changed it. So now, this big thing of yellow right here is messing with me. Do we add more yellow? Kind of extend these lines a little bit. It's had black Stabilo in it. I came up with another really great inspiration set of fonts. And you know how Allie Edwards is always talking about stories? Some of these fonts generate stories in my head or stories from the past. And the one coming up, I think I'm going to do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. But it's a really, I might, oh, okay. This is me really changing things up here. For some reason, I feel like I always have to do a project for the entire month. This month, I'm breaking it up into 2. Making myself do that. So tomorrow, that's the reason why tomorrow's the last day in this series. For some reason, I always felt like a month. Everything had to be a month long, or 2 months, or 3 months. There was one that was 180 days. And it was a trip around the world. But I'm going wild with this yellow. Now, maybe add a little yellow to here. But I think I'm going to start this project right after this one. The one I'm talking about that I came up with in the middle of the night, last night. When I'm supposed to be sleeping. I don't know what my head was listening to, but oh well. That's okay. It's a good thing. But I might stretch it for 30 days, but it'll go into the beginning half of next month. That's what we're going to do. So look at me. Breaching over the borders of a month. Oh my God. Okay, that looks a little better. The yellow is kind of flowing from everywhere. And I think I might like do that and do this. So this yellow kind of goes off the page and makes this incorporated. Our starter piece. Huh. I don't dislike that. Again, could it be that easy? Where playing with paper a couple weeks ago, and this one, who knows when I made the starter page? I don't know. I just found it in this envelope. No, it was in my stack of paper. How making paper for me and just holding on to it 4 years sometimes, brings a super easy spread together. And I really kind of like, I really like this. Adding the black helped this black in my head. Adding more yellow and bringing yellow on top here helped in my head. Oh, you know what it needs? It needs some gold. I think I'm going to put gold around the edges, except for where the yellow goes over the edge. Rest is golden, right? That's our prompt, rest. And since we're talking 49ers, we need a little gold. You know why the 49ers are called the 49ers? Because they discovered gold in 1948, and all these people invaded California, and starting mostly in 1949. So they called them the 49ers. And the gold discovery, which I camped at many times in Coloma, California, is not far from the Bay Area, San Francisco. Oh. Okay, this does not have the shine, but that's okay. It's helping that the actual paint does, but we're okay with that. Okay, I got to get these things in the right places. There we go. Again, I think I'm going to go around these two. Having, just like a regular scrapbook page, having great paper, even in the old days for me, having great paper. Guess what my favorite brand of paper was? Mostly later in my scrapbooking days. I don't even know if they're still in base. Well, I think they're in business because they branched out into fabric. Basic Gray. And it was, again, a tad grungy and a tad just abstract. Basic Gray was my favorite. If I wasn't using a solid color, or I would accent the Basic Gray with a solid color. For a couple years, my sister and a friend of ours would go up to Charlotte because they would have a huge scrapbook convention. I don't even know if they still have that. But you could buy a ton of supplies. It was a product convention. But I think they had classes and stuff like that. We just went for the product. We would drive up there for the day and shop. And I would head to Basic Gray first every single time. Every single time. But that was in the heyday of Basic Gray too. I love this. It's simple, simple, simple. Does not have to be intense. Can be fun to be intense. Can be intense spurred in with fun, simple. But you already have the supplies done. I have to be careful here because I have wet paint in places. Why are you not sticking? In hindsight, the paper that I chose is a tad thicker. It's not quite cardstock thickness, but it's thicker. And it sometimes is not ready to be glued down. It's not ready for prime time playing. If you are a fan of Saturday Night Live. Oopsie, I think I just hit my camera thing again. I have a better camera angle, but the legs of the thing get in my way, and I hit them all the time, so I apologize for that. Okay, tomorrow is the last one. I have to find, no, that's, here we go. Discard. Okay. And I'm not really sure the role of discard. I think you can pull it off and make stuff with it. It's like a, I don't know. Or you can like pull, I don't know. It's a step in the process. But it's either can be discarded or used, if I understand all that correctly. Could be very wrong. Haven't made a lick of sourdough, but I know I love it. Okay, so now, tomorrow, we start another piece of paper, and it'll be our last. Although I think I'm going to go continue my, well, no, I can't now because my journal, I was only going to have 12 days, so my journal wouldn't be so thick, and I was just going to use the rest of these. But now I'm going to go into a different journal because it's going to be thicker, the 30 days. But let's see if we can find a piece of paper for discard. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Can you tell I did all these at the same time? Yes. I kind of like that. Is this something we discarded away? I don't know. So that's going to be our last page. This has been so much fun. Oh, I didn't write the word rest. It's kind of right there, but whatever. I don't know if you could even read that if you didn't know what we were doing. There's a blue jay outside the window. Having the time of his life. Okay. Now, title page, reason why, the prompts, and then I started. Starter, artesian, which I love this one. That's when I used gold paint instead of the gold marker. Kneading, yeast, which I love because I came up with this other shape, which I love. Rise, I'm not crazy about that one. Loaves, like this for some different things. Ferment, love this one. Again, super easy. 2 pieces of paper, great paper. Mine and Robin McClendon from her printables that I get. And I extended her mark making across and down. Super easy. Alive. It's okay. Oh, I love this one. Culture. I love this one. I just tore a bunch of holes in all the paper and laid them on top of each other, and it just came together. Feed. I like this for totally different reasons, but it's okay. And rest. And then tomorrow we have discard. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. Make up a wacky doodle. You can do pasta. All the different pasta shapes. You can do all kinds of stuff. Just everyday stuff around the house sometimes can be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Go 49ers.